Hi, everybody. This is Zane with Sailing Views. I have a longtime friend, Brian Mcginnis, in here with me. Some of you may know him from, back in the old days in lasers. In the last couple of years, he's been in the Sunfish class. Been doing really well in that. I know he's done big boats, J24s, 22s, Melges 24s, a little bit of everything, even some bigger boats than that. But he's just a great sailor from up in the Long Island area. So, uh, with that, how you doing, Brian?
Good. Good afternoon, Zane. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm still drinking coffee, so I don't know if it's afternoon yet, but you know, I drink coffee all day. All right, so with that said, give us a little introduction. What boats do you sail on? What are you doing? What's your sailing?
Well, these days I'm pretty much primarily, doing sunfish class. Yeah, this season I guess is a little bit questionable right now. Most of the regattas are already talking about canceling for the year and pushing to next year. So we'll see. I had a goal of trying to qualify for Italy next year, this year, but it looks like North Americans have already been canceled, and a lot of the regionals are being canceled. The nationals got canceled.
Yeah,
So the qualifying window might be a little bit challenging.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was talking to Gail Turlick about that one of our interviews, and off air we were discussing how you can qualify people for events like that when there are no qualifiers, or how that's it's definitely going to make next year's Worlds an interesting process. All
Yeah,
right.
who knows? It'll probably be like a resume type event or something.
Yeah, yeah, that could be it. All right, so let's get into the questions here. What age did you start sailing, and how did that come to be? And I know everybody says my dad threw me in a boat or whatever, but you know,
Actually, for most of your other people, my story is a little bit different. I started sailing at 5 in an SS with crewing with my dad and my brother. And I was kind of, I don't know if you know an SS, but they're a wood boat that you put in the water and you sink them for a week, that they swell up, and then you go out, bail them out, and go race. That was pretty much like an automatic bailer as a kid. And then, from like age 7 to age 12, I didn't really sail at all. Just I wasn't too big into the water at that time. So I had like I think I did sailing lessons, but I didn't have my own boat or
all right,
took
wait a
off.
minute.
No, you look like you're. I'm here.
Yeah, you glitched out
I'm
for me
here.
there. All right, so let's. You were talking about your sinking boat and you being the automatic bilge pump, and
Yeah.
then you kind
And
of had a
then,
little glitch.
I kind of got back into the sport really around 12.
All
And
right.
then got into a sunfish, and then started doing bay championships and blue jays or whatever the hell else, mob jacks, whatever they had going, sunfish, and took it from there.
Yeah. All right. So, who were some of your early influences? Who got you? Who motivated you? Who got you? To learn more. Who helped you out a lot?
I would say probably just the sailing instructors at the club really were the ones that got me the get go as far as getting into going outside of our yacht club and going to regattas. And then from there, it's kind of the rivals and like Brian Elliott and Luke Buxton and some of those guys as kids. Just we'd all camp out at regattas, and so that was always fun. And then probably a little bit closer to 18 to 20s is I did a little training with Paul John, and that Paul John Patton really helped up my level and my confidence and all that. And then I eventually ran into all you guys in the 96, 95, 94.
Yep. Yep. No, those were fun days for me.
Absolutely.
All right. So, at what point did you think you were good, or that you could carry on, or move forward with it?
Probably around age 14, I felt like I was okay. Like I was competing with everybody on the bay and, holding my own. And, you know, really didn't get the first big win until I was like 18, and, picked off some of the old rivals for the first time and had some smiles on that.
Yeah.
So,
There you go. All right. So, what do you do for a living? Are you in the boating industry, or
no,
what?
I'm a computer geek. I, run projects for, networking, managed service providers. So we do all the help desk and things like that. And I train staff on all those things.
Okay. So, are you working at home right now, or are you? actually going into the office, or what are you
Been
doing?
working at home for the last 2 weeks or so on quarantine
Yeah.
because of the whole coronavirus thing. Once Angela got detected, I had to kind of bail from the office for a while, but I believe they're taking me back on May 6th, which is Wednesday of next week. So
Yeah.
I'll start being like 50% work from home and 50% in the office.
All right. Okay. Well, with all that said, what's your favorite boat, and why is it your favorite boat?
Uh, I've had a lot over the years. I really loved when I sailed on the Hobie 33s. You get enough body weight on the side of that boat, and it's a really performing boat. And then I remember that time when you got me on a Mcginnis 24 out in Severn in '95. I loved that boat. That thing was flying, and I've always loved the Sunfish. It's something where you don't have to work as hard as a laser, but you can have fun and go sailing.
Yeah. Well, I know I've seen you sail Sunfish. I think you work pretty hard.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's your favorite place to sail? 'Cause I know, like me, you traveled all over the place in the '90s, and I know you haven't stopped with the
Yeah.
Sunfish sailing.
I'd probably have to give you like a top five. I loved when we went to Cork in '95 and seeing 1,200 boats out there in Canada.
Yeah.
Definitely had a blast out in California when we were doing that. Training out in Long Beach and all those damn seals on the buoys.
Yeah.
Remember we were training with like the Canadians for like a month. And
Yep.
the guys near the back of the pack would go closer to the buoys but all the seals were there. You're like, oh, I hope this 900-pound seal doesn't jump on my boat,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They scare the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, and then I guess one of my favorites down in your neck of the woods is St. Andrews Bay Yacht Club.
Ah. All right. Yeah, that's a great place
Let
to
me yell
sail.
at the dog real quick. Dallas! Stop barking at the neighbors.
Yeah, and that is a very famous dog on the internet. For the rest of you that don't know, a very famous dog. All right. Yeah. So St. Andrews Bay, that's good. Yeah, I enjoy sailing there as well. All right. So where do you see sailing going in the future? I know with the virus is messing everything up, but
Yeah.
what's going to happen afterwards, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think you're still going to have lots of options as classes, as long as they have viable boat builders. You'll continue to have viable classes, in my opinion. I don't really see any major change in the numbers up or down.
Yeah.
And I think as far as the top level people, you're going to see more and more of them jumping into the moths or the skiff boats or the high speed ones, which is cool. But I don't think most of the masses are going to be able to handle those type of boats.
Yeah. Yep.
At least respectably.
Yep. All right. So, what's the best regatta you've had? Something that sticks out in your mind. A best, a good trip, a good feeling, good something.
I guess probably the first one would be like my first Flying Scot midwinters down to St. Andrews Bay. It's like we were tied for first at the end of the first day and wound up like sixth overall. It was my first time, only 18 years old, my first time doing it. And then some the midwinters east and west, being in the Silver Fleet, but being in like the top five and 88, 90 boat classes. That was always pretty cool. And then, some of the Sunfish Worlds, being in the top, I've been in the top 20 numerous times. And, at least there you're sailing against the good guys. So that always felt good.
Yep. All right. Well, with that asked, what's your worst event, your worst experience? It could be on a road trip or during a race or something. What's one of the worst things you've done or had to go through?
Well, probably, not having a good regatta at the 1996 Last Chance Regatta.
Yeah.
Down in St. Pete. And that was like, basically my birthday was the day I was eliminated from trying to make the trials. And, it was rough. And you were there as my coach at the time.
Yep.
I had a much better spring than I had that regatta. But, I definitely appreciated the time and the experience.
Hopefully that wasn't my coaching that pushed you back there.
Well, you definitely couldn't coach me on how to fish.
Yeah. Oh, Lordy. All right. So what's the most interesting thing you've seen floating by? I know up in the Northeast, y'all got a lot of population. See anything
Yeah, I
fun
mean,
floating?
yeah, and around us, it's just the mounds of seaweed out there.
Yeah.
But California, seeing the seals. When I was down in Peru, I mean, just the amount of birds was insane. There's hundreds of thousands of birds down there. So it's really mainly just the wildlife or the seaweed in Long Island.
Yeah, yeah, that stuff's definitely a mess. I did a regatta up there once, and it was you're clearing your board. You hike for 10 seconds, clear your board. Hike for 10 seconds, clear your board. That was
Yeah, it's part of it becomes part of your workout routine.
yes, it does. All right, so what's your best role on a boat? Say you get on a bigger boat or something like that, or you just strictly one
Usually
design?
usually tactician or flying the chute.
Yeah.
I can definitely see better when I'm not driving. I can get my head out of the boat. So I've always been better at like coaching somebody else to be really good.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So if that's it.
A little tougher when you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to do everything when you're driving. You're supposed to be focusing on a narrow window, and yeah, trust me, I have a hard time dealing with both as well. All right. So are you an aggressive sailor, a conservative sailor? What do you think?
I mean, I've had my days where I felt aggressive, but in general, I don't consider myself the greatest starter. So I end up having to grind a lot of things down and be smart and play, just play in the field until you move up ahead of everybody you should.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Well, I know I've sailed against you a lot. Now you're always that guy in the middle of the course, and might favor one side or the other, but you're not like I am. I mean, I hit all the way half a mile past everybody else, one corner harder than the other normally.
I have my days where I try that, but I really got to be feeling the side.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me. It's all a matter of how aggressive and how risky you want to be.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the best maneuver you've pulled off in a race? You've done anything where you've passed 20 boats, or just something that really sticks out that was a good moment.
Well, 2007 Worlds. I remember I was just sitting down. It was on the final day. It was like the whole regatta was cold and wet down at Brant Beach Yacht Club in New Jersey. And, right before like the final race or two, it became sunny, big change in conditions. And I remember sitting downwind from the starting line just thinking, I'm going to go that way. There's like, right at the starting line, 97 out of the 100 boats started going the other direction from what I decided I wanted to go. But I'm like, no, I'm going this way. And, I had one guy underneath me yelling at me like, what's that? I'm like, I'm going to go that way. And by the time we flopped over, we had like a half-mile lead on the fleet. So I was just like, you can thank me later,
Yeah. Yeah. That's always good when you have to pull off a miracle like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. So, what's your favorite program or project, or what have you been involved with, boat-wise, sailing team-wise, something like that, that's been, just very stand out for you? What's your favorite?
I mean, the Olympic campaign definitely was, that was a big project and a big to-do. I mean, we traveled the country together, so you know that.
Yeah.
And then, some of these campaigns I did for the World Championships in other countries. Like I did a nice fundraiser for Peru and raised about $3,000 or $4,000 for that championship, and I absolutely loved it down there. It was a blast, and definitely would go back to sail there. One of the best places I've ever sailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've told you my stories about Peru, but when I was there, I was on a communist boat, and they were hijacking me, and they stole my passport and abandoned me in Lima, Peru at 15 years old. That's my memory of Lima. Everybody else's seems to be a little better, but
I have my stories too, but I'll probably keep them off of here.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so the America's Cup. I know we've gone to these big foiling monohulls. What do you think? Do you love it? Do you hate it?
I love it. I got to watch some of the boats in New York City last year. But, even though it was a crappy day for sailing, they just watching those things get up on up on their on the foils is pretty awesome, and it's great to see, Ben Ainsley and some of the other guys I remember from the '96 campaign, like on almost every boat. Like, was it Rod Davies was on one of the boats?
Yep.
And it's pretty cool seeing that. And then nowadays, like this one coming up, I see guys that I've sailed against in the Sunfish are now going to be on one of the boats. Like Victor Diaz de Leon, he got picked up by what is it, Sail GP or something like that?
Yep. Actually, I was talking to Victor today. I've got him scheduled for I think Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, he's coming up soon. Yeah.
He's certainly a pro nowadays. You know,
he's like a kingmaker, man. He makes every time he gets on a boat, they win a big regatta. So
yeah, he's got the light.
Yep, yeah, he does. All right. So what are your future plans? Future plans in sailing.
I mean, like I said, I definitely want to go back to some more world championships. Probably do a few more Sunfish years, and then hopefully at some point I hit the lottery or something and can afford some bigger boats and try to wrestle around with some crews.
Yeah. We all need a lottery. Trust me, I assure you.
Yeah.
All right. So women's sailing. What are your thoughts on it? Do you like it being broken apart? Do you think they should sail together? What's your thoughts on women's sailing?
I like both. I like that they have their own events, and like I love seeing what they're doing with like the radial class, and even like a women's North Americans in the Sunfish gets a very good turnout. And it's great to see, and it makes it competitive. But then I also like the fact that it's a mixed fleet in our class. Unfortunately with with radial versus the full rig, you don't get to see that mesh like you do in the Sunfish. Sunfish is a great class for meshing, and lately we've had a lot of college women because the class president, was big into getting all his people into Sunfish for University of Connecticut and stuff. So it's been a good base. Yeah. It's been a good base there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. How do you see the sport of sailing growing, or do you have any ideas on it? How do we get sailing bigger?
It's a tough one. I mean, right now I'd say it's been pretty flatline. Mm-hmm. I don't see it really decreasing, but I think it becomes a challenge with the more boats that are in the universe. It you don't really have yacht clubs necessarily marrying to boats and programs and say, okay, we're going to do opti to laser to they're not all on the same page, so it makes it a challenge for those levels.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of watering down when it comes to the different types of boats and what appeals to some people and not to the others.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end, man. You're speeding through this one pretty good.
Sorry.
It might be the shortest.
Some people are better storytellers than me, I guess.
Yo, come on. I've talked to you late at night many times. Yeah. You definitely tell some good ones. All right. So what's some of your best advice to new sailors or people that are just new to sailing in general or new to racing or just new all around?
I mean, keeping it fun, Don't overthink it. Don't over serious it. I know the top guys, they do their whole training and all that, but when you're at the event, enjoy the people that you're with. For me, that's always been a big part of it. Being, work hard, sail hard, play hard after. And make sure you're enjoying the people you're with.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm going to have to tell you to put your screen down a little lower again, man. All I see is your upper lips on all these shots. And it's a little late for this because we're down to the last question. But
I'm trying to block the dog here, Let's get Dallas on camera there.
There you go.
Here, buddy.
Yeah. So you've got your dog in your lap. I'm worried about my cat. She keeps trying to attack the microphone, and I'm afraid she's going to destroy something soon. All right. So with that, what else do you have to add? What are some of your thoughts and memories and just something?
We definitely got to get some sort of reunion going with some of the folks. It's like I loved, when we had me, you, and Loring in a Sunfish not too long ago. That was great.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a laser, but who knows? Maybe we can all go do a Flying Scot one day or something.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. Just it's always great to to reconnect with people you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It's great seeing some of the guys you've had so far, Jacoby and Peter Hurley and Will Glenn.
Yep.
I'm sure you're going to have Brett Davis. I haven't seen the Spanky one yet, but that'll be interesting.
Yep. Yeah. I got Hardesty coming up. I did him a couple days ago. I've got a lot of the old Laser crew coming out. Just it takes a while to get everybody coordinated. I got Kevin Hall coming up soon.
Huh.
I've got a good list of people coming on. So hopefully this channel grows and gets more people just thinking about sailing, talking to each other. And for me, it gives me a good idea of what people are seeing, what they think. And I think hopefully this little channel will help a little bit.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
who knows? But
So what about your plans for sailing, Zane? What do you got in the hopper?
ooh, you know what? With everything being kind of pushed off right now, I'm not sure. Now that I'm working for Quantum Sales, I'm spending a lot of time getting quotes for boats and measuring boats and things like that. And the craziest thing's been happening. I've gotten so many people during this little stay-at-home thing calling me up for quotes on sales. They haven't even bought the boat yet. And so I go through hours of work, getting them a quote down, and then send them an email, and they're like, "Okay, well, I think I'm buying the boat next week," and I'm going. That's happened to me, I think 4 times in the last 2 weeks. I'm like, you don't even own this thing. All right,
Well, people are doing their shopping, that's for sure.
yeah, they're just kicking tires, and I guess that's what it is.
Cabin fever, man.
Yeah. But as far as sailing goes, I don't know. I think I'm gonna move to the Viper a little more. The Viper's our new YRA boat, and I'm gonna do. I've been testing a lot of sails, with Quantum, trying to find the right sail tune versus mast bend, and just trying to get everything dialed in. And I'm probably going to pull back from the Melges a little bit and focus on more of the Yacht Club Viper stuff, because we've got Jackson Bevenuti, we got the Egans, we got the Lovels, we've got Dane.
You got plenty of local talent down there to compete with.
Yeah, we got tons of people. So, and we're all in Vipers now.
Okay.
So when you get 20 boats out every weekend racing against each other, and there aren't really any slouches. It's fun to sail in. So and it's a good test bed for Quantum to get these sails dialed in a little. And they're really close. I think I'm the weakest link right now on getting the pictures back to Reynolds and Zabo so they can redesign them and tweak them. And a lot of that's I can't get crew to go sailing. So all that's on hold, but that's sort of what I'm working on.
Excellent. That sounds fun, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting process.
I guess probably one nice thing about this little quarantine here is saved a little on the expenses. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to afford the yacht club this year. So, and I got a nice car ready to go for the season. So, even if I'm not traveling as much, I'm definitely going to have a boat at a club to jump on, which will be nice,
Yeah. Well, I blew up my Yukon and I bought a older Lincoln Navigator. I've done one regatta in it, and it's comfortable. It's super nice. But boy, it eats on gas. When gas gets back up high again, I don't know how I'm going to be able to drive it. I'm sort of thinking, okay, enjoy this truck now. Let's find something cheaper down the road.
You guys are probably doing pretty damn good with the gas prices down there in Alabama, right?
No, you would think so. I've been watching everybody on Facebook, post their gas prices. We're still in the $1.60, $1.70 range. Everybody else is down like, $1.15, $1.20. And I'm like, wait a minute. We make this stuff, it all comes in here and gets processed. Why?
You still got New York beat by about 50 cents a gallon.
Wow. Yeah, but I'm not up there with you guys. Everything's a little pricier up there. But, all right, so you have definitely hit the record of the shortest video. So I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you a few more questions.
Maybe some more regatta stories or something.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's something. I do plan on doing a live feed with a couple people.
Scariest moment on a boat.
Yeah. What is your scariest moment? Go for it. What is it?
All right. Well, I remember one time, probably like my 20s or something. Me and Paul John went out in like 45-mile-per-hour gusts in a JY-15, and we ended up flipping that thing. And there was about 6-8 foot waves, so the mast went into the mud, and we had to de-rig the whole boat upside down, to get the mast off. And then we had like a Suffolk County motorboat come in, and they wanted to shoot a grappling hook at us. It was rough. I mean, we were in the water for probably a solid hour trying to get that damn thing back so we could tow it back to the club, you know?
Yeah.
And it was definitely scary because we had no idea if anybody's going to come for assistance. But
Uh-huh.
we certainly weren't getting back to the club anytime soon.
Yeah. Those are always fun. All right. How's I know you mentioned Brian Elliott sailing with you a lot as juniors, and I remember I met you guys together, and y'all traveled a lot. So y'all were the Bryans.
Yeah.
How I know you sail with him a little bit. How do you still connect with him a little, or?
Yeah, we're actually a pretty damn good team on the J24s and J22s. You know,
Yeah.
I definitely get out with them at least a couple times every summer. You know, and hopefully do a regatta or something. I mean, he's been traveling a little and doing like Charleston Race Week and all that.
Yeah.
So he's really embraced the big boats, but he's still very active at Sable Yacht Club on Tuesdays and Thursday nights every week.
Very good.
Yeah. You
Yep.
can count on Brian to show up 5 minutes before sailing with everybody else having getting it rigged. He's ready to rock. You know?
Uh-huh. He steps on the boat and goes. He's the classic big boat owner, huh? Great.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think we've extended it probably long enough. We're still short, but you know what? Brian, is great talking to you.
You too,
So,
brother.
I'm gonna.
Keep up the good stuff. I'm enjoying seeing History Lane with everybody, and like your little sailing blog you got going.
Yeah, it's
And,
something to do. I don't know where it's going to go, but hopefully we can get everybody to watch it, and that just gets more people thinking about it.
No doubt. Stay safe, man. You know it's crazy out there. I know Alabama's probably a little bit safer than New York, but
Oh yeah.
it's definitely some crazy stuff right now.
Yep. Yes, it is. All right. Well, everybody, this is Zane with Sailing Views. Once again, this is Brian Mcginnis, excellent sailor. I've known him for years. And this is it. So it's kind of a strange video,
make
but
fun of my geek glasses.
yeah, I'm not going to pick on you. I have them. I
blind
just
as a
don't
bat
wear them. All right. Well, once again, everybody, Zane with Sailing Views. Like, subscribe, join the channel. That way you can get new videos. They're coming every day. Lots of big guests, lots of good names, good stories. They're all coming up. So with that,
Zane.
with that, over, out, and bye-bye.
Take care, brother.